what's good, Commanders fans? Day 2 of training camp. You guys know how this goes. I'll show a couple clips. Shout out to all the media members that were there today at practice that posted clips. So I'll be showing some clips throughout the video. But I guess we'll just start off with some things that Dan Quinn had to say. Dan Quinn did talk about Jamin Davis in his opening press conference before practice. He said that they're trying Davis in different roles to see how the best to use him. They like his length and his speed. He also said that Kerrigan has played a key part in Jamin Davis's development as well. So that's really good to hear. Kerrigan, legendary skin, legendary pass rusher for the Skins. Is a good guy to learn from. Was really good at the bull rush. Could use his hands really well. Just had a knack for getting to the quarterback. I mean, I know the knock on Kerrigan was that he would load up on sacks. Like one game he'll have like 4 sacks, and then he would go the next 2 or 3 games with 0 sacks. But Kerrigan, he's a legit player, man. He's a dude. He is a baller, former Pro Bowler and all that. So I think he's a great player to learn from for sure. But it shows that Dan Quinn really is invested in Jamin Davis. He wants to get the best out of him, even though he didn't draft him. He really wants to get the best out of Jamin Davis and use him as a pass rusher, or just a guy to get to the quarterback. I'll just say that, just a guy that can get to the quarterback because he's shown it. Jamin has shown flashes that he can get to the quarterback, just using his speed. He's not thinking too much, just getting to the quarterback. I think that's where Jamin Davis can be at his best. So he also said that Ryan and Jamin are closely connected because when you have to play more than one position, there's a burden. Ryan has been integral. He also said that Mikey Sanders still and Jaden Daniels, those two will kick butt for a long time. So you love the energy from Dan Quinn. You got to love it. He also says Jaden Daniels is more mature than the average cat. You love to see that too. He's been walking out with Sam Hartman. Those two guys have been the first ones out on the field for practice. Jaden Daniels, once again, the first guy out there. As we talked about that minicamp at OTAs, him and Luke McCaffrey training at getting to the facility at 5:30. So Jaden Daniels, he lives in the facility basically, and the Lansdowne Resort or wherever they're staying at in town, in Ashburn, Virginia. Also, another story is that Emmanuel Forbes has been gaining some weight. I mean, I know we saw the viral picture of him where his legs look like 2 toothpicks, and then they put like the SpongeBob legs on him, just joking around where he was standing next to a guy that went to his camp. Taking a picture with him, and the guy who was like 16 years old looked like 2 times bigger than Emmanuel Forbes. So Emmanuel Forbes has been gaining weight apparently and eating more. That's what Emmanuel Forbes has said in interviews, and he's gained some mass and some muscle. So that's good to hear. And then let's get to punt returners. So Zach Selby said guys catching punts during special team drills were Jamison Crowder, Dax Milne, Demir Bird, Casimir Allen, Jahan Dotson, and Emmanuel Forbes is back there as well. So, like I said, Dan Quinn is trying to find He's trying to find ways for guys to get on the field and be more impactful. Emmanuel Forbes, I don't think he'll be returning punts anytime this year, but you just never know. Jamison Crowder is our best punt returner, in my opinion. Dax Milne is still on the roster. He's kind of like that Trey Apke kind of guy where he's just always going to be there some way, somehow. But Jamison Crowder is the best punt returner on this team. The only time he was bad was when he had that fumble against the Jets where he just threw the ball up in the air, and that helped us get Jaden Daniels. So I mean, I was upset at the time about it, but when you think about it, it just helped us out a little bit in the long run. But he did have a nice touchdown return against the Falcons, which I loved seeing that. That was like the last time we had a punt return for a touchdown was when he was with the team back in 2016, and that's just crazy to think about. But yeah, and then there's a video that Nikki Javala put up of Daryl Tapp showing technique with his hand placement to and defensive line coach Sharif Floyd out there just teaching up the defensive line, like John Ridgeway out there. You see the caps that the guys got on. We'll see if these guys are going to wear those caps during the games and whatnot. So we'll see. But it's good to see the defensive line coaching these guys. I remember the first time when Ron Rivera came, and the guy that they fired, I forgot the guy's name, but it was the defensive line coach, and guys didn't get along like Matt Ioannidis. I know it's neither here nor there, but, it's good to see that these guys so far are getting, receptive to the teaching that the defensive line coach is giving these guys. I remember last regime, they weren't receptive. Like Matt Ioannidis was not happy. I think some guys were not happy with the defensive line coach. He ended up getting fired, and then they brought him Zagonia. But you guys get the point and where I'm going with that. All right, Marcus Mariota got first-team reps to start the day again. Don't want to take too much stock in that at all. I think Jaden Daniels will be the day one starter, but you just take a look at that for sure to start off. Zach Selby also said, nice job by Tyler Biotic, sealing off the defensive tackle, allowing B-Rob to get through the middle for a decent game. So Tyler Biotic is expecting a good year, a big year for him. Austin Eckler looked shifty today. I'm intrigued by Austin Eckler, man. I think he's going to be pretty darn good for us. 1-2 punch with B-Rob. So I'm excited to see what these guys do. And I think he still has some left in the tank. I really do think he still has some left in the tank. I know he had a down year last year with the Chargers, a bunch of injuries and whatnot. But if he can give us a different kind of pace, him and B-Rob, and he's a touchdown machine. Every year he's been a touchdown machine. So I think he can really make an impact on this team. I think he is what we're looking for as a third down back receiver. Chris Thompson, J.D. McKissick kind of guy. He's been better than those two guys. And I love J.D. McKissick and Chris Thompson, but he Austin Eckler is a legitimate receiver, a running back receiver kind of guy. All right. So Linnell also said that Linnell Willingham. He also said that you can see the burst of vision of Austin Eckler even without pads. But Nick Allegretti had a false starter. So some mistakes are going to happen. You got to get that stuff out of your system now. Nick Allegretti played in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs, played a left guard. He most likely will be the starting left guard. So we'll see what happens with that. Zach Selby also said, really like the job that Brandon Coleman did working against John Baptiste. Made the defensive end run the hump and washed him out the play. So Brandon Coleman making some noise, man. Let's see if he can beat out Cornelius Lucas to start at left tackle. If he doesn't, then, learn and develop this year. We'll see. But I would love to see him out there and be the starter. That would be nice to see our third round pick, compete and win the job against Cornelius Lucas. But that's good to hear that Brandon Coleman did a good job against John Baptiste. Also, Linnell said, nice job by Jaden Daniels calling out the defensive back that honestly didn't really show blitz, but he came. Daniels to the protection, but it was incomplete. Also, Marcus Mariota gets first 2 reps of 7-on-7. The result, a scramble and a bullet to John Bates near the goal line for a touchdown. And then the play of the day basically was Jaden Daniels on a touchdown pass to Mitchell Tinsley. Made the leaping grab over a defender in the corner of the end zone. So Nikki Zavala said that I'm sure the team website will post that video later. So Mitchell Tinsley making noise. I love seeing that. I hope he can make the roster or at least the practice squad. But Jaden Daniels is doing a really good job in the red zone again. Jaden Daniels completed all four of his passes in the series. One to Luke McCaffrey, one to Davis, and one to Mitchell Tinsley, and one to Austin Eckler. They all have receptions. So Jaden Daniels had a good day yesterday and a good day today, it seems like, as well. John Tom also said Daniels threw a perfect fade to Mitchell Tinsley. Mariota had a couple touchdown passes, but also had to extend so hard and no versus a rush if he'd have had the time. So it sounded like Marcus Mariota was holding on to the football. And that's kind of what reports were saying, too, that Mariota was holding on to the football a lot, minicamp and OTAs. But Jaden Daniels has been getting the ball out quicker and processing quicker. So that's good to hear that, too. But it seems like Marcus Mariota threw a couple touchdown passes as well. But I love seeing that from Mitchell, hearing that about Mitchell Tinsley. I really want to see him make the roster. But if he doesn't, it is what it is. I think we have a lot of talented guys on the back end. And like I said, Mitchell Tinsley may make the practice squad. But Jaden Daniels, once again, is impressing and playing well. Jackson also says, really nice play to open 11-on-11 from Jaden Daniels. Brian Robinson takes a pass from the quarterback to the house. So I love seeing that. Once again, shout out to Prize Picks. Just give you guys a couple quick picks like I always do. I got Jaden Daniels getting over 17.5 passing touchdowns on the season. And then, of course, Terry McLaurin over 925 receiving yards on the season. Jaden Daniels should definitely get 20 passing touchdowns at least. Use my promo code REAL@Oliver, 100% deposit match for first-time users, up to $100. Using the link down below in the description. So make sure you guys get those picks in and the LeBron James free square discount. So trying to help you guys out with those picks. Another good thing is Linnell Willingham also said that Jaden Daniels, his use of the hard count, second straight day, we've seen him draw the defense all sides during situational work. So that really shows the presence of mind and how smart Jaden Daniels is. I remember Alex Smith was really good at the hard count and really would get guys off sides. But to see a rookie come in and do that is very, very, very good to see. Very good to hear that as well. Just how smart he is. So I think that's really it for the play-by-play. Also, Jaden Daniels finished off the red zone period. He hit Jeremy McNichols for a touchdown pass. he was working with the second team offensive line and wide receivers outside of Luke McCaffrey and Zach Ertz. So Zach Ertz was on the field with him, and Luke McCaffrey was on the field with him when he did make that pass to Jerry McNichols for a touchdown. Jerry McNichols, don't sleep on him. He might make the roster. San Fran kept 4 running backs last year. I know it's not, some of it's going to be Adam Peters, some of it's going to be Dan Quinn, of course, collaborating to choose the 53-man roster. We'll see, but Jeremy McNichols was with Adam Peters last year in San Fran, so we'll see if he does make the roster. He's a guy that can catch out of the backfield too. Emmanuel Forbes sighting. He made a nice play to break up a pass intended to Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin did get him down the field, though. Terry McLaurin, he made a catch from Marcus Mariota, and he beat Emmanuel Forbes on the play. But Emmanuel Forbes and Terry McLaurin apparently were battling back and forth. So I love that. I love that energy, man. I love that. Our iron sharpens iron. So, Emmanuel Forbes going up against a legitimate top 10, at least top 15 receiver in this league. That will make him better. And I love that. I love that competition there. Emmanuel Forbes has been battling with Terry all practice, both getting the best of each other. Second year corner looks much improved. That's from Ludnell Willingham. So I want to see Emmanuel Forbes start, man. I know he was coming off the bench somewhat in practice in OTA's minicamp. I know that doesn't matter. Michael Davis probably is going to start. Ben St. Juice may start, but it's competition. We'll see. But I do want to see the improvement from Emmanuel Forbes. He has not worked out with Darrell Green. Mikey Samuel still has. Maybe he can try to do that a little bit from here and there. I know practice has started, but I do want to see Emmanuel Forbes out there improving, man. I think he has a chance to do that under Joe Witt Jr. Joe Witt Jr. has made corners better. Dan Quinn has made cornerbacks better. We saw that in Dallas. So let's see if that happens with Emmanuel Forbes. All right. I think that's about it. And then we'll talk about what Sam Cosmi had to say. Sam 48 did say that it was a tough start for Jaden Daniels. He missed a deep shot to Luke McCaffrey, but he bounced back and finished with a short touchdown pass to Jeremy McNichols. So he did miss a pass to Luke McCaffrey, but he made it up with a nice touchdown pass to Jeremy McNichols. All right, let's talk about Sam Cosmi, what he had to say real quick. He was talking about last year. He did say that this year he's going to be dirty, he's going to be nasty. Excuse my language, but I'm not going to take shiggity from anybody. So I love hearing that from Sam Cosmi. He's a guy that could potentially have a Pro Bowl season. He had a really good year last year playing at right guard. Also talking about running the football more. He said, quote, "It keeps the defense true. I don't know what the percentage was last year. I think we were last for run attempts and one of the highest in pass attempts. You saw what that got us. It got us," end quote. So he definitely is referring to Bieniemy and his play calling. He did talk. He was the guy that said Bieniemy made them wear their hat backwards. Dan Quinn loves to wear his hat backwards. I don't really take much stock in the hat backwards thing, but he felt the need to come out and say that. He clearly, I feel like Sam Cosmi felt some type of way about that. And then once again, he talks about Eric Bieniemy with the running attempts. We were dead last in running attempts, and we were very, very high in pass attempts. And this year, I think it's going to change. I think Cliff Kingsbury and Anthony Lynn are going to run the ball a lot more, especially when you have a dual threat quarterback out there, and that's going to make it a lot easier for the offensive line as well. So I think Sam Cosmi is excited and definitely has a lot to say about last year on the play calling. He just unprompted, he comes out and says stuff about the play calling last year. This is not his first time, I feel like, he has said something about last year. But we'll leave the past in the past and move on. But I'm excited to see what Sam Cosmi will do this season. So he did throw some shade there. But I think that's about it, guys. Sam Cosmi has some good things to say. I know Frankie Louvutal, I didn't really see what he said much. But overall, I mean, it looks like they had a good practice. And then Sam Hartman was out there with Ben Sinnott and Colson Yankoff running a mock 2-minute drill after practice. So that is good to see as well. So, I mean, just nothing but positive, good vibes, good aura, all the good stuff. That's what it's supposed to be in training camp. Honeymoon phase right now. So, that's about it for today. You guys let me know what you guys think. Health Commanders. Peace.